So for this video, I'll be reading to you an introduction that I wrote. I tried to fit this introduction on the whiteboard, but I got to the end here and I ran out of room, as you can see. So what I did was I posted this introduction on the document that is directly below this video. So you can find this introduction that I'm about to read to you below this video. Sorry that you can't see it very well, but you can at least open it up and see it right on the document there. So I'll read it to you, and then I want you to go ahead and move on to the very last document that's listed on today's stream, and I want you to follow the steps on that document. So here's my example. The topic of my example, or the topic of the essay, is students in the United States should be required to learn Spanish. So I say, ¿Qué tal? If you don't understand what was asked in the first sentence of this paragraph, you may want to start learning Spanish. Why? Because the United States now has the second largest Spanish-speaking population in the world. If you don't speak Spanish, then now is the time to learn. Being fluent in both English and Spanish can break down barriers and can make you a better job candidate. While some people may refuse to acknowledge the importance of being bilingual in America, being fluent in both English and Spanish will benefit society as a whole. In order to ensure that all Americans experience the benefits of being bilingual, all schools should require that students learn Spanish. So, for my introduction, I started off with what's called a hook, and I wrote it in this sort of burgundy color here. And then at the top of the paper, I explain what I mean by start with a hook. So, a hook is a statement or a question that will make your reader want to read more. You hook your reader in with this statement. And I sort of made a longer hook than I typically make, but the whole intention of the very beginning of this paragraph is to make the reader interested in what I'm about to say. Then, right after the hook, you'll see a sentence written in blue here. It says, being fluent in both English and Spanish can break down barriers and can make you a better job candidate. What I'm doing right there is I'm outlining what I'll be talking about in my body paragraphs. So the topic of one body paragraph will be being fluent in both English and Spanish can break down barriers, and then the topic of the body paragraph right after that will be being fluent in both English and Spanish can make you a better job candidate. So the whole function of that portion of the introduction is to outline the topics of the body paragraphs that will come after the introduction. So you're only writing the introduction today, but in your introduction you should sort of provide your reader with an outline of the things that you'll be talking about in your body paragraphs. So that could be the hardest part of this essay. I provided you a hook that you can use, and it's sort of individualized to whatever topic you chose. So if you want to, you can just copy and paste the hook that I gave you, or you can write your own. And then after that, after you include your hook, then you'll write your statement where you outline the things that you'll be talking about. And you actually already did this. If you look back on yesterday's Take a Stand assignment, and if you look at part B under step 2, I asked you to type 3 sentences that support your thesis statement. Well, these 3 sentences will be what you put in the blue portion here. Now, you'll probably have to make some adjustments to how you write those sentences so that they fit with your hook and so that they don't just sort of abruptly appear there. But that sort of gives you an idea of what you can use in this blue part here. And then in red, I acknowledge that there are people that don't share the same view as me. So I say, while some people may refuse to acknowledge the importance of being bilingual in America, being fluent in both English and Spanish will benefit society as a whole. So not only did I acknowledge that people may not have the same view as me, I mentioned that these people may not be seeing the fact that society will benefit as a whole. And the reason why I included that part is because I'll be addressing that later in my essay. And also, it's important if you're making an argument to acknowledge the different points of view. you shouldn't just act like those points of view don't exist. It's not very convincing to your reader. So you should acknowledge that there are different points of view, and then attempt to sort of refute whatever those points of view are. And you will have a paragraph where you do that. It'll probably be body paragraph 3. But for now, you're just sort of introducing it to your reader. And then the very last sentence here is your thesis statement. For me, I said, in order to ensure that all Americans experience the benefits of being bilingual, all schools should require that students learn Spanish. So that's the main statement that I'm making, and that statement will be supported by the rest of my essay. All right, so again, a good intro has a hook. It has sentences that outline what's coming up. For this specific essay, you'll be mentioning the opposition, and then you'll have your thesis statement at the end. And it should be laid out in this way, in the way that I laid it out on this piece of paper. All right, so what I want you to do now is I want you to go ahead and go on to your next document, and there's a step-by-step guide that I want you to follow that will help you write your introduction. I do want to backtrack a little bit, and I want to let you know that even the opposition parts here, you already have experience with talking about that, because in yesterday's document, I asked you to identify opposing views. I think it was for part C of the Take a Stand document. So this whole intro paragraph has essentially been laid out for you by both what I've included, what I've given you, and also by what you've written in the Take a Stand document. So go ahead and give it a try. If you have any questions, contact me on Google Hangouts, and I'll help you out. But yeah, make sure you contact me. I know this is pretty rare for students to contact me on Google Hangouts, and I really think things could be a lot easier for you if you contact me and we work together on this. So let me know if you need help, and hopefully I'll talk to you later.